You didn't see that. I completely was looking at my email and then I realized that my green screen was up. I'm looking crazy. It wasn't prepared. Welcome. Welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome to the Virgo channel. Yes. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Know that on my channel, I like to dive deep within the reading. So I do look at everything, but we take a lot more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play into karmic themes. Help you understand why you're attracting who you're attracting into your life. What is the spiritual significance and how to shape shift the energy? A lot of times a person does what they do, believe it or not, unconsciously. A lot of times we're getting people that trigger us, we trigger them. And the whole point is because the universe brings us people, situations, and experiences to help us heal, to revert back to our original energy, which is just unconditional love. We wouldn't know we were out of alignment unless we got triggered, right? That's the whole point. I feel so disheveled. All right. So let's see what the underlining energy is. Now that started off pretty crazy, right? It did, but there is no perfect. We shoot for excellence around here. All right. Now, let's see what the underlining energy is. We always want to know what that is because when people wear masks and create facades and illusions, we don't understand why they do what they do. We're not living their reality. Their reality is always through the filter of their experiences. So again, perseverance. Now I feel like that's more like your energy, perseverance, to be honest with you. And that's the underlining energy. The underlying. So then we have to say, well, then how is it influencing this person? Because if you're the person that is like, well, I'm not giving up, and I feel like you're putting all your time and energy into like things that are growing you, things that are healing you. That could be your business, friendships that do give something back, hobbies, interests, and that you're not going to let anyone stop you from your goals. You refuse because you became intolerant to this person. So I kind of feel like this person probably isn't doing anything because they don't know how to approach you. People that betray us, then, they see, oh, you're not going to react the way that everyone else reacts. Well, then now they have to change their strategy, I'm feeling, and that's not even psychic. That's just, what it is when you're dealing with low vibe people, though it is psychic also in this instant. But like I said, the majority of people, that's what they do. They do something because they think they're going to get away with it. They don't do it because they say, oh, I'm going to get caught. They say, I think I'm going to get away with it. And then when you don't react the way that they thought that you were going to react, what the fuck? It's like I got this. It's like, give me my cards, damn it. It figures it would be the trigger cards that does that. All right. So again, feeling ignored, like you're not heard, you're not valued, you don't really mean that much, which is a form of gaslighting. It's a form of manipulation. If you don't know your worth, you're going to give more. And that's what this person is used to. They're not used to people that don't give up. This person plays a game. And at first, I think they pretend that it's, oh, I'm acting cute, I'm acting fun, I'm acting this way, and it's all light and fun, but this person knows exactly what they're doing. This is not that energy. And I feel like because you got to the place where you're like, fuck you. I don't care who you are. I don't care. It's like I'm intolerant to your bullshit, and I don't care what you're doing. You're not going to stop me from getting what's mine, and whatever that is. And it could be even another relationship. You're not going to stop me. It's again because you don't give anything. You don't like to be accountable. You never apologize. It's because you don't want to be accountable. So there's a lot of gaslighting. There's a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of substance abuse. Man, I don't want to deal with you, is what I feel like. And then this person like checks out, goes out to the bar all night, smokes joints. So you're like, this person doesn't care. No, this person detaches. They don't want to be accountable. It's like, I'm going to do what I want, when I want, how I want. And that's what you're intolerant to. You're like, well, it's like, again, I don't know who you think I am, but I am not that person. That's where you are. You're like, you think that I'm somebody else. I'm not your ex. I just heard that. Like, I'm not your ex. I'm not that wet paper towel that doesn't do anything, that doesn't have an existence, that lived for you. You don't know who the fuck I am. There's a little bit of that where you're like, that's right, I'm over it. I'm intolerant to your bullshit and nothing's stopping me. And that's that fire energy that happens anyway when you're manifesting. So you're like alchemizing all this person's bullshit, almost like, it's like you're like, I'm so angry with like this person's games and this person's manipulation, that I'm going to use that energy, and I'm going to use it towards persevering through my fire energy. I'm going to ground it. And that's why this person is like, they don't really know how to handle you. They're actually very insecure, which obviously a person that's secure doesn't do this. Possibly because this isn't your identity. Look at what this person's doing. Oh, I'm so desirable. It's like that you have to do that to be desirable. What's there? It's, again, you withdraw the way that you deal with things. You don't have a conversation. You're not, you don't create transparency. So you don't actually create any type of emotional bond. So you don't show up. So you don't give a shit that you don't show up for me. It's like, because of that. And you're just always trying to get over. It's all about you. What you want, how you want it, when you want it, why you want it. And that's why you're intolerant. So we say, well, what are the spiritual blockages, and what is this person going to do? Are they going to do anything? And is there a spiritual actually element to this connection? And why did you attract this person into your life? Because right now I can be like, why did I attract that asshole into my life? They were avoidant the whole time. It's like, they want to be with me for what? Do they want to be with me? Like, what do they want? Well, again, that this person, like, they actually do have feelings for you. It's just, they almost expect you to, use understanding for them, and like look the other way. Like, they're not really being coming from the right place. It's almost like we have this connection, like, how I am. So it's almost like they want you to use, your understanding, and, well, why aren't you understanding? But the truth of the matter is like, you already see that they always have a hidden intention. And it's because this person just has a low vibration. They're not rooted in anything. So, and they have intimacy issues. Someone that's that avoidant, that, uses substances to check out, well, they're avoidant. So they feel safer, like manipulating, strategizing to get what they want. So it's all about them navigating from a lower energy. So even if this person does have feelings for you, and I want you to just understand me, which is not realistic. They always, like, that you can't trust them because they're impulsive. They don't know what they're going to do. It's like this person is empty. If this is how they navigate through life, they think that this is a divine union. I'm not lying to you. It's like, because they still feel your connection. And I think that they think that it's enough. And that might not be because of you. This person has dated other people, has played these games before. It's worked before. Have they ever had this type of connection before? No. They treated you the way that they treated everybody else, thinking, you're gonna fall for my trick, and then I don't have to do what I don't really want to do. But you're my person. You know how I feel. I just don't want to express myself, and I don't want to act like it. And it's like, who wants to be in a one-sided relationship? It's like, it doesn't make sense at all. If anything, it's affecting the passion. Because I'm not seeing you the same way. Like, a lot of you are demisexual, which is like, unless you build that emotional connection to me, I don't care. And once you ruin that emotional connection to me, I just can't be with you. It's like because my brain can't bypass like what you did and how you did it, which is making it easier for me to persevere towards my goals and not focus towards you at all. So again, this person, like again, they do again they do have feelings, but the problem is that they have a different ideas about what love and intimacy are opposed to you. You're like, I need that emotional connection, I need you to give time, I need you. This person's very outdated in the way that they think. It's almost like back in the day, I feel like when those men lived on the prairie and they didn't tell their wives anything and everybody played that role and the women looked the other way. So it was okay if the men cheated. It was okay if the men hit their wives. It was okay. But they did whatever they want. It's almost like that energy, which we know that we don't live like that, but it's almost like that. This is what this person expects a divine union to do. Oh, you're my person. Like if you're like you know that I love you, but it's like no, because your ideas on what love are and intimacy are so much different than mine. We clash, and at this point, it's like you don't want to change, you don't want to compromise. I don't care whatever chemistry we had at one point, it's actually fading because when I look, there's really nothing there except for that. And I can't trust you. And because I see that you're wild at heart, you just want to be free. You don't really want to be with me, or you want to be free and be with me. That's really what I feel. Like you want to be with me, but you want to be free. So is there any spiritual significance? Is there anything nice that this person, anything at all? Or was everything shady? Did this awaken anything in this person, this connection, like to see from their end? I've been learning about twin flames and it feels right to them. So again, remember like in the twin flame connection, there's a runner and a chaser and it tends to be very toxic. Well, I don't believe that this person's your twin flame. However, all past life karmic mates have the potential to step it up to the twin flame level. This person's not doing that. I think that they are deluded. They're like, you're my person. You know I love you, but it's okay. Like, and it's like, so it's like they contradict themselves. And that's the problem. They have strong feelings for you then if they feel like you're their twin flame, but they have intimacy issues. So the whole point of a twin flame connection is to build on that, the trust, and to grow. Otherwise, it's just passion. And that's what this person navigates their life by, passion. Again, those lower emotions. So of course they're deluded. So again, what they think twin flame relationship is. It's not just passion, it's about learning and growing and healing. And this person is like, oh, well, because I'm actually like thinking about you, where normally I don't think about anyone. This got to be because they don't give anything normally. It's like, oh, stop. I'm triggered and old patterns surface and it hurts. So again, and that's really, it's like because they're not getting their way. Hey, Michael and Wes, Brett, Kimber, understand. Like this is what you're dealing with when somebody has spiritual blockages. That's what this is. I watch you on social media and the internet. It's my way of staying close. Again, intimacy issues, but they're going to be a stalker. Again, they have no problem doing that because they're nosy. I want to know what's going on. And I am very attracted to you. So I can like be in a relationship in my head, which is why I'm deluded, because that's what happens when there's no ground and the person's living like, again, they're delusional. And so again, we see, I'm trying to understand how my thoughts create my reality. It's again, I know I need to stay positive. Are you? Because I'm not. I like, again, they're trying to, but I don't think that they're a positive person. So I think this person is trying to learn, but they're at such a low vibration and they have a big ego that they're just deluded. And again, just you both have different ideas of what a relationship's about. You want one that it's going to be monogamous, that it's going to be deep, that this person's going to be like your best friend. and they kind of want to be like an authority over you, almost like I own you. You're like a piece of property, an extension of me, which is kind of like very narcissistic. It's like I want to have my cake and eat it too, but you are my person. And it's like, and in their mind, you are, because they've never had this type of a connection before. But that's a past life karmic mate that understand once you leave, because you're not going to give this person shit. You're persevering. You're going to saying, fuck you. You're not interfering in my life anymore. I'm putting all my energy and all this aggravation that whatever you did, I'm going to channel it towards purpose and leave you in the dust. This person's going to feel it. It's like, because they're delusional, like it's not like they don't have feelings, but this is what it looks like. And it's almost like, we'll be together later, like again, but right now, this is like, why do you have to be so like difficult? And it's like, you're not going to dumb me down. It's like, and that's the thing. This person acts cute in the beginning and then they're not cute. They're like very extremely manipulative. And so you have to say again, why did you attract this person into your life? Because what we see here is again, that this person still doesn't really want to come back. They're stalking you. They're holding back. Why? Why are they holding back? Because they don't want to change. People, again, don't want to change. I'll pull just 3 more cards from this one because it's like, well, why? It's like, I was like, well, why? It's again, because you're moving on. The cycle's complete and they know it. It's like didn't give you anything. It's empty. And that's Spirit says, so that's why they know that, again, that you're leaving them behind. So unless they come in and gave you something, you're not going to give them the time of day. And that's why Spirit says. We didn't even need to pull that. But for my own whatever, was like, well, why? It's their ego. They don't want to be rejected. I'm not going to get what I want. So again, why did you attract this person into your life? We look at the inner child wounds to see where those fragmentations are, what was a karmic theme that continued to play out, and what you're supposed to do to actually transmute this energy. My ammo. Okay, we see card number 1, that's discipline. Card number 2, sing. Card number 3, space. Card number 4, inner authority. See, like these are actually like kind of positive cards. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, okay, outdoors, nature, and love. So really, Spirit is saying like this person, because you did the right thing, brought out really good attributes with inside of you. Like you disciplined. When it comes to things that you like, you are disciplined. Things that you don't like, you're not going to put time in. However, you are persevering right now because you're doing something that you love. And it's something that you have a big heart. It's again, you're someone that is a creative, someone that, you're like, I'm not going to let you take me down. I'm not going to let you, maybe I'm pissed off at what you did, but I'm going to do something with this energy. So again, you are always able to do that. You're always a loving person. It's again, and you always were disciplined and always listen to your higher self. The higher self is God part of self. And that God part of self is what makes you strong. There has always been a good connection to like the earth, people, you're friendly, you had support. It doesn't mean that your parents were always there and that they were perfect, but you had support and you knew how to give support. But Spirit says, again, all this space is for you to understand that it's for you to create with, to be able to use your voice and ask for what you need to create the world the way that God created the world. We get to create our world, that we actually have spiritual sovereignty. So Spirit saying, utilize all these spiritual gifts that came out, because you did not said, you were like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not doing this, whatever this is. And like, it doesn't mean that you didn't have feelings. You disciplined yourself. You love yourself. You're like, I always loved myself. It's like, I might not have treated myself the best way all the time, but I always loved myself. And when it's like this, and Spirit says, so again, you were always intuitive. Did you always listen to your intuition? Probably not, but this time you did. You're like, I'm not entertaining this. I'm not entertaining this. And you did use your voice for what you wanted to set boundaries. And again, it was a grounding thing. It was to come more from the logical, analytical mind, not the heart, because there was a connection. It was a past life connection, though. And you will like, I see the difference. I see what you're doing. Is again, and I might not have in the beginning, but because you didn't run into the situation, understand you didn't get hurt. That's why I said this person's gonna get hurt, because you're about to transmute all this negative energy by creating. That's number one, whatever it is that you're creating. And also, again, you're on your soul's calling. You're listening to the whisper of your soul. You are aligning your actions with your values. So you're going to attract something completely different, because now you're coming from a place of love, where you learn to love yourself. You chose you. You needed to kind of go through this initiation, is what Spirit said, because at one time you didn't. Not enough. And it wasn't because, hey, we tend to be kids and we, want to be friends and fit in, and we're afraid of our parents. There were times, but not because there was any major thing. Is that now it's just your turn. And Spirit says you are aligning your actions with your heart's true desire. You're following your passion. And that doesn't mean this person. I don't like how they have a person on this card, because really, when we're talking about passion, we're talking about your passion for life. When you align yourself to that love by giving and receiving of love, then you attract a person that matches your energy. And it's almost like part of you is like, still haven't experienced that. And the universe said, no, you wouldn't have, until you actually went through this initiation, finally listened to yourself, finally again aligned yourself again with what you wanted to do. Because understand, by doing that, you can be interactive in life, and then the universe conspires to bring you the right people and situations and experiences into your life, where before you were trying to make things fit people that didn't really support you. You're like, I don't know, Janet never shows up to the fucking square dancing, and I need someone to do, or whatever it is that you're doing. It's like, this person, Bobby, doesn't do that. It's like where like, I'm limited. And Spirit says you're only limited because you can't stay in your square. It's like, again, the space. We go back to the inner child wound, or again, just non-developed space, which is not really non-developed, but because we get the story of who we think we are, and then there's a real story of who we truly are, because as children we can't just go off and discover things. So Spirit's saying that is about doing that, so you can meet the right people instead of trying to make people in your life work where they don't want to. And that's going to trigger you, because you're like, well, I want them to do it. Look what they're doing. They could help me. I could get there. I could see how that would fit in. And Spirit says, stop it. My plan's better than yours. It's like, stop trying to make people see things the way that you see them. In the right time, in the right place, the universe conspires to bring you everything that you need. I'm not behind. I know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. That's the whole thing, Spirit says. I gave you free will, but we keep driving off the cliff. It's like, yeah, and so we want to do things the right way. And we do things the right way by aligning our heart with our actions. And, look, you have courage, and to continue to act from a place of love and light instead of fear, which, understand, at one time you probably grew up in survival, came from a place of fear, where now you're like, it's more about having that connection, that relationship with your creator. So you're always seeing that support. So you're always being healed. So you're seeing a different narrative of who you are and who, other people are, and the experiences. Life is all about learning. So a lot of times we revisit past experiences only to see them differently. And so Spirit's saying, it's like, in this situation, it's like, again, you had to go through this experience. Now it's time to do things differently. So you get to actually get the fruits of it. Like, wow, like now I'm living. Wow. Now I'm loving my life and I'm living, and it's so easy. Why was it so hard before? And the universe says, because you were going against the energy. You like to control things. And it's like, and I don't know why you like to control things, because it never works out, or very rarely. Understand? Yes, use your passion for fight for what you believe in. So you always stand your ground, meaning people are always going to try and manipulate you. The world wants to utilize your energy. I mean, our advertisements tell us that, right? Everyone wants your time, your energy, your focus, and your money. But how do you manifest? Through those elements. The Magician Tarot card tells us that we have all those tools. We have to apply our tools. And Spirit says, but the most important thing is to create that sacred space, to stay connected to your higher self, the God part of self, so that you get the divine wisdom. And remember, divine wisdom only happens in the moment, only happens in the now. If no one's talking, it's nothing is having to say. But training yourself to be open instead of letting your mind chatter at night so you can't sleep. Again, to get a good relationship with your creator so you're able to really create the life and the life experiences that you want. That's your spiritual sovereignty. There is no separation. The illusion is that we're separate because of these traumas. We can heal the effects of trauma, and that's why Spirit says, bravo, now you get to live the life that you want. But don't forget about me, because I fucking got you here. And if you forget me, Spirit says, you can't grow away from yourself. The key is never to grow away from yourself, to be strong in who you are and really protect that divine that's inside of you. Because in the end, it's gonna show within your outer world experiences. And it's hard. Sometimes we get caught up in the experiences, but Spirit always says, there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness, if you're not getting the experiences that you want, you need healing. So Spirit says that's why that happened. We leave off with one more message from the divine. Thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. It's good to support. I mean, it's the way that I get my love, and I support you guys. Okay, open to the universe. And Spirit says again, it's time to discover your worth and your own abilities. And that's where that space is. Like in childhood, it's like we can only learn so much as children, right? I mean, so Spirit says now it's time for you to pour into yourself and know that you're valued, then that you have potential, and reclaim your inner power. You accept and love yourself completely. And now you're open to the divine light of the universe, that you're willing to let the universe guide you. That again, that you're constantly co-creating. Every day you're meeting people, having situations and experiences that should teach you. And if you're not, Spirit says, well, then you're not grounded enough. You're not pouring into yourself enough. If you don't pour into yourself enough, you'll never enter into the kingdom. Remember, the kingdom of heaven's inside of you. If you can imagine it, you can create it. But most people aren't imagining anything except for what they're afraid of or what they have to do. So reclaiming our spiritual sovereignty requires us to go back and be a child, to go out and have fun, to connect. And then in the right time and the right places, you meet people that resonate with you, that are going to value you, instead of, well, this is what I have here, I need to make it work. And God's like, we're in Walmart and you're going to buy a wedding dress? Really? Well, I know, you're going to buy good shoes at Walmart? It's like, why don't, that's the standard? And there's nothing wrong if that's all you have. But are you going to dream? Or are you going to, again, or are you just going to exist? Because our spiritual sovereignty is connected to dreaming. And again, and that requires us to be really true to ourselves and understand the world doesn't want you to do that. That's why there's a spiritual war happening, war on consciousness. Again, the only way out is in. So remember that you're always supported. I will talk to you guys soon. Love you guys. And until next time, be true to you. Remember that. Bye-bye.